All right. So first things first, we'll go ahead and recap these ETFs really quick. Wild day, wild day for sure. Levels got hit underneath us. Levels got hit above us. You can look at SPY right now, and you'll see it's literally first green candle to your left, as per usual, keeping that away from that um, floor reclaim, which ultimately on the 15-minute we're looking at a move over the 680 450, which going back out to the 24-hour, there's not really much here, right? Unless you're playing off of the lower time frame potential reversal. But I mean, when I say everything got touched, that previous sell wall got hit. So today's high is tomorrow's long. To the downside, right? We did bounce and are bouncing up pretty quickly, right? So we can't really leave anything. We can't really lose any ground as we move back up. Otherwise, this could serve as a retest. And that's what I'm looking for as we get towards the end of the day. So you can see the pocket of empty space up there. We got a good 2-3 bounces off the floor, 3 off the top, and we're building in the right place. So it'd be kind of nice to see us pick one or the other, which could ultimately lead to a breakout, or range. Again, it is Friday. All right. Weekly candle as well is probably important to take a look at. This is just another range candle, to be honest with you. On the weekly time frame, you are not below the, well, you know what? Very, very, very close to being to losing. And I would actually say that this week's low, if you look at the candle bodies right there, that's probably where we would take our next leg down. But no signal from that weekly 24-hour or that weekly candle at all. Now, QQQ, this one has had nothing but weakness. And one could say it's possibly coiling up, but this isn't really, it hasn't been a show out on the buy side. 3 major rejections off the top, and it's got me thinking that, some wild thoughts. Again, on the weekly, it's really tough to see anything, and that's okay to say. We don't really have anything other than what we're in, which is this large range, which again, what does this candle tell us? And we got to be honest with ourselves when we look at these candles and say, am I just speculating that it goes down, or is it giving me a signal that that's what it's going to do? 4-hour time frame, right? Same thing, just a little range underneath you, but in the same breath, right? Empty space up above. It'd be real quick on Monday morning or potentially overnight. So you got to place your bets on something that really doesn't have any high probability signals as we speak. IWM, however, we talked about this earlier today, and this range ended up being kind of a field day for both up and down. Not huge percentages, a couple 100%ers, but that move back to the up to the upside. I was able to grab this one. I don't know who said something about this morning, but that this was likely going to chop and could stay in range for the majority of the day. And that was mostly true. Obviously, after seeing the amount of rotations on both sides, right, moving down to the 5, you see how many times that high gets tapped. Going for that 4th, it only seemed logical, especially after that hold. That hold was kind of ridiculous, and you ended up recovering that previous 247.69 and just giving us a little move up to this 15-minute box over to our left. That's kind of a perfect little playground. End of day, maybe a quick retest down here if you're speculating, right? Move back to 248.40, 248.38. It's not even a dollar move, so you got to weigh that. But this could be a nice little box to build going into Monday morning. And IWM does have, zooming back out, a decent amount of empty space. I actually, out of all of the ETFs, starting to look at this one, I think a little bit heavier. It's tough to kind of spot the trend on this one. So you go down to the 4-hour, and it's one could possibly assume that we might be heading back up to even retest 251 again. But I do like the first target up above us and previous mega important floor of 249.50 going into Monday. So if that fits your risk to reward, cool. All right, now looking at the Forex Factory going into next week, first full week of January, we got a lot, decent amount. Monday, 10 a.m., we got ISM Manufacturing. Tuesday, nothing really happening except for FOMC barking. It's gonna be barking. Final services PMI, whatever bullshit. Wednesday, ADP non-farm employment change, ISM services PMI, JOLTS job openings on Wednesday. That should be fun. And then Thursday, unemployment claims. Friday, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. So we got a decent amount of data this week. And I would even say, just kind of taking a little bit of a step back here, we got to, I mean, goddamn, that looks fucking good up there. Give me that all day. Sheesh. But anyway, I think if you zoom out, right, we got the perfect, like, okay, this was our floor before, this was our previous resistance. That's what we tapped off of today. So we could assume that today's low could drop us into here. We also have a top that has been firmly resisted, and any sort of candle close outside of 620, and we're testing it. And being that it's the third time, you could be looking up towards the 635 weekly high. So I think we're in a good position going into next week to make some money. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, right? And this is about the time that we start looking for that tension to break. And you might say, well, Gary, look, it's big red. Look over here. Big red. Big green. And you're off. And that's 4 candles by side. This is 5 candles side by side. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a big candle out. Again, trying to remind us perspective wise what we can possibly be expecting. Now, I want to point something out. When you're up against resistance, that 1, 2, 3, 4 candle doesn't always work out. That's when waves come in, and that's where you can dive into a lower time frame and kind of spot those. But all right, so I mean, interesting setup here. Love to see how, because again, if we by the end of the day end up, happen to run up into 618, that could change the 24-hour candle and change the way we look at the end of the day, so on and so forth. So, ooh, that looks candle right there, 6:15:30. All right, anybody have any questions on the ETFs going into next week? I wasn't even supposed to be trading this week, but IWM looks so straightforward. When it hits you, man. Alrighty. If you have anything you would like for me to take a look at here, we'll brush over a couple of stocks that are doing what we need them to do. Let me see something. It's funny. You know how family is. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but family members partner, I'm not gonna call them family yet. Was like saying like that this was bullshit because I was trying to help. And this was exactly the stock that I told them. And it was these next week's contracts. It was the $50 strike, and that ended up not happening because of that opinion. So funny to see how people kind of project what they feel they are incapable of doing. Anyway, that being said, Celsius is at one of the only areas of rejection that has ever, or really, really has occurred in this area. It has served as a cost basis, served as a floor, served as resistance. But this wick in particular is really the only price point that I see in front of us. It's a good candle close. You can look at what's underneath us and look at what is a potential worst case scenario here, or what cannot be lost. And that's where this gets a little bit fishy, right? So when we go to the 2-hour, I don't really see anything. I do see a red candle. So this is one of those lessons, right? Why or where? Why are we watching? Where are we watching? Right? What time frame? Why would we be on the hourly? If I can't see anything here, if it's just green bars, what the hell am I supposed to do? I can't do anything at all. So I go to the hourly, nothing, right? 30-minute, nah. 15-minute, now I can see something, right? Can start to see, okay, I got 2 rejections off the top. It looks like there's a wick right there, possibly be my floor, and then there's structure right here at 47.98. How is that relevant, right? I can use, and I don't, a lot of you guys could be doing this as well, Celsius side by side. And you could look at, right, what is relevant about that level? Or is there 47.72? Sure seems like it served as the top of the box right there. And that is, in fact, what it is, right? Crazy. But that's where we need to hold. That's what needs to bounce. So if you're watching Celsius right now, let price action do what it needs to do. You don't always have to hedge around things. Sometimes you just got to let things go, do their thing. And if nothing has been lost, and let price do what it needs to do, build a plan on the lower time frame. As you can see, we just did here, because everything's okay for now. All right. I'm loving it. Man, those IWM calls. I got some runners just sitting on IWM right now. Shit. Yep. Probably gonna, and it's already likely gonna retest that 248 from 41. All right, let's see here. Yeah, so Celsius, just a quick update on Celsius as well. Absolutely, if you're in the 200% range for the January, which I have, I have some contracts for today. Obviously, those got to go. I have 2 of them left. If you have the January 16th goals, you should be well up over 100%. I'm sure if you added anything beyond that, awesome. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. So earlier today, and it's so funny how these things kind of play out. I expect that might end up alligator wrestling with us for a little bit, but we did get news, right? That AI was likely going to invest or some bullshit like that. And what it did is it ran up into its empty space right here, stopped, and it's building. Why? Because probably people are rushing in. It's going to utilize that volume to build if it's going to go anywhere at all. I like the setup. I have January 23rd, $30 calls, and January 30th, which I actually didn't mean to buy that one, but those are up. Now, looking at the 24-hour candle, not bad, right? Now, I've wrestled with Pinterest before, and it's not always as easy as it seems, right? But we have to, again, stick with the facts. What has Pinterest stuff? This is where, if you already have a position, it's a little bit easier to negotiate. If you don't, where are we at? We are dead slap center between what we need to grab and what we shouldn't lose. So there's still a possibility of a retest there, and that would be okay. You'll notice the premium climbed up, and I expect it to kind of hold us up if we continue to build. But so far, so good, man. I mean, that looks good. I like that. I mean, I think everybody's looking at this the same way, and we know for a fact, right, what happens to price on Pinterest when it kills 28 right here. We're gonna get that 30. So looks pretty good. All right, DKNG. So I know you guys are watching this one right now. The candle is closing. Resistance is supposed to resist. Not doing a great job of that at the moment. We'll see if that changes, right? We know what's underneath us on the 30-minute. It's already very clear that 34 or 35.40 could be retested. But other than that, the only thing that is up above you is these wicks, and that is 36.40. So if you have a good position if you know where you, especially if you have a good entry, we need to hold that 36 or break that 35.86, and we need to bounce off of 35.50 basically to keep this momentum moving in the right direction. Weekly candle is green, so we're looking pretty good. It looks good on the weekly, really good, especially building right here, 4 candles sideways. Yeah, it looks very similar almost to that right there. So let's see where it gets. What am I, drunk? Lord have mercy. I'm not drunk. All right. Let's cover ELF real quick. Saw Alta moving up today. And then quickly sideways. But saw that one making a new high. And I thought, man, ELF is fucking lagging. I am not like, but I'll wait, I'll wait another couple like it's actually it's perfect because it's going to end up giving me an opportunity to average in possibly even more. Peyton's dad, again put the burden of his financial account on me, and there's not really much I could do about it. But I expect something along the lines of this. I'm not trying to hedge it. I'm not trying to do anything on it. If it does end up making a new low, which would be below the gap, it'll likely drop to 57 and I'll average down there. Target looks good, decent on the weekly. The 24-hour, it's a little sketchy down there, but we are closing in the wicks and basically right up against this floor. So it's a punch back over 103.20. Still what we're looking for here. Let's see, 4-hour. Yeah, 4 hours a little bit more indifferent. You're holding there, but you're holding here. As long as you're managing this trade really well, I think you're good. 98.50, you said. Yeah, because you do not listen. This is one of those trades where it's like I have already decided in advance, especially if you have shorter expiration contracts. If you lose this structure right here, you're dropping. And you're probably gonna hot drop to fucking 92.55. If you have anything you want me to take a look at, drop it in the live trading chat. Oh shit. Oh, hold on. Let me see something real quick. What in the fuck? Okay, so you're not getting yanked yet. You are pulling back. Boy, I tell you what, if that thing's, oh my God, Bitcoin is about to fucking move. Jesus Christ. You heard it here. I mean, obviously, Trend Channel looks like, and I'm not a crypto guy, but I'm a chart guy, and this is a chart, so looks like I'm a crypto guy. This looks tension to the max. Max pain. Oh, 24-hour. Yeah, boy, if I was a crypto nerd, I'd be on one right now, ready to make a bag. Which got me looking at Mara, dude. But the thing is, Bitcoin. Now, the only thing I can't guarantee is this is going to rip to the upside, because this is one of those moments where we're looking for that explosive price action to keep you moving higher lows, empty space up above, got tent structure underneath you. You had no sound. Oh, man. I'm sorry. Huh. Mara's not going to be anything that I rush into, but fuck, that looks good up to 1142 if it can reclaim. Riot. I hate Riot. But that looks fucking good too, damn it. Well, there's a play right there. Mara doesn't have that same clarity. unfortunately. So what? Candle close here, candle close above 1033, and that's a long. I would expect a gap up over that gap and go to 1165. So I'm gonna wait on that one. Word up. Oh my God. Okay, so two major bounces, right? But obviously a long period of time that you've spent in there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split this bastard in half. Yeah, that's what I thought. So 950 being number one. Then in front of you, and I'm sure you see this, so good job. You got a nice box floor. Bring that down a little bit further. That's 991. Cost base is 1118, which is also, again, beautifully lined up with this previous resistance. Because, yeah, so at the end of the day, you're looking at a punchback over that, and I think that gives you the floor here. So you're looking probably up in the 15s. Shep. Well, IONQ looks good on the 4-hour. If it looked like that, man, I'd be all over it. But let's see, weekly. So what are you saving your ass by pulling? Not quite. You're almost there. So it would be realistically right there, but that doesn't show up. That time frame. That looks good. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I guess move up to the 48.90s and $50 mark is definitely first. I don't know about beyond that. You have looks to be a little channel right there. So yeah, you definitely have to get above 55. Get that thing moving. Rigotti. Oh man, you should have took that shit today. Honestly, I dropped the ball on that one. That amount of tension at the floor with empty space up above you. I think there definitely is some people who asked me about this one. Fuck, that is picture fucking perfect. This is another reminder to stop shorting floors. You either short as it's moving to the floor and expect it to break, or at shorting floors. I don't even. Sometimes it's even a candle close outside of it. And I'm like, what do you better have something fucking. You see right here, you got empty space underneath you. But man, that was a nice little move. So yeah, that at this point now you're just. Hopefully you're already in. I think it would be the number one thing. But 2411, 2434, then outside of 2460, you definitely have more. And I mean, if you look at this from a box perspective, well, that's all their highs right there. That doesn't really make much sense. I'd just leave it where it's at like that, and just look at the side of that box over 27. What's up?
Oh, I got January 16th for 26 called
Nice. Dude,
on
when
Rigetti
where'd you get that?
today.
Yeah, but like what time do you get that on the break? Like down at 22 or 23 or recently?
Hang on. I gotta look at my PL.
Yeah. Yeah, regular.
I think it had already moved a little bit. My price target is 73 cents. That's what I'm up 29% right now.
Okay. Yeah, definitely still has this $24 floor it's about to go and hit. That was a solid setup though.
Anybody catch AMD?
I did
Because
not.
I mean, it looked, it was coiling up just like the last time, right before it took off.
Yeah, that's a great reaction to resistance, brother. You pull back, retest. So outside of 226, I I got to say 233 would be the first target for me. 233, 235 would be runners. I guess if you're looking at it from a channel perspective, the whole enchilada, yeah, right up into the 238s, and it's not really empty right there. Yeah, so I say 238 for sure. Maybe Burge is not sharing the sound. But you should still be able to hear me. I think Word would be equity, or yes. If you're gonna trade it, Word would probably be the way to do. Yeah, or equity would probably be the way to do it. I've never traded the options on it, but I imagine looking at the price action, they're nothing crazy.
Hey, will you look at Meta
Sure. What are you looking at on this?
660s?
Which way? Oh, up 660.
Yeah,
Interesting. So nothing about today's candle is really screaming, that's a red candle well below support. However, yeah, so this is actually perfect. Cost basis box. You get
yeah,
that.
that's what I saw.
Yeah, you get that when you get above 650, 350. So this is either a bearish retest or a bullish your break over 653 that you're looking to grab.
I took those for January 16th.
Nice. I mean, yeah, I'm really curious to see if it can get back up above that. And then from there, you have the first floor. It's not a lot of empty space up there. You have 655, 70. And then I guess if you're looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, you would want this to punch through here, be outside of there, and, look up into that empty space. Good. We'll say something about, Meta is building really, really well, for whatever it is about to do. It's building in the right direction. So
I just think Meta has a lot of potential.
like on the chart.
Just the background of it, its earnings and stuff like that. And
I got you.
I don't know. I just think it's a good play.
I mean, deep down, I hope they crash and burn. But yes, for your sake, I hope it goes up and does what it you needed to do. Excuse me. Sleepy. Right. What else are we looking at? Anything else, guys? KTO. Oh, Kratos.
I'm in equity on that one, and you can look at the weekly and on that as well.
Weekly's really not telling me too much, but so that's a good. I mean, that right there is a good recovery candle, gap fill recovery, and then it looks like just through here into the 82s, and that there's a nice pocket up to 87. For my setup, when I look at this from a 24-hour perspective, there's a good target of 87, and that's it. From the weekly, it's not familiar at all. So I mean, having a
So-
great average would be numero uno on that one. It looks like you do. So I would say
What about the
A,
monthly?
monthly. That's far more. That's definitely a little bit more definitive as you have 2 monthly candles holding one level. So I would say that's definitely way better. Now, the only thing I can say, I mean, the only thing I see right now is the ability to stay in this range up to 90. But that would be the first monthly overhead target is $90. So I mean, yeah, the monthly definitely looks good with 2 months sitting on the floor, unable to make any new lows. Not bad.
I'm in it at 55, so
Oh, you're good. Gold bounced off of. So I'm gonna keep it 100 with you on this one, right? You are under the sell wall. You gapped up and you flushed. So whatever it is that you're playing is probably based on the higher time frame, or the lower time frame, which we can see that we're at the floor, right? And as we drop down, yes, we do have, if you're playing that bounce, potentially back up, and you're only guaranteed as a first target the medium of 400, and then second target would be 402. I think if we're, and this is something I don't have, not exactly sure on this one yet, but I do believe there's a channel in play. So it would be important to see this go up and do more than retest. It's a little spooky. I'll be honest with you. And you can actually move this over and see the importance of that particular level. Like that is the level you either retest, right? And above that, beautiful. So that makes it easy, good bounce though. All right, let's see here. Nike. Okay, so good pullback. I again, when you look left, you're a rock climber. First green candle to your left, so you kind of lost it. 4-hour time frame. You're hanging on by a thread, and that's where we go to the most recent price action. First red candle here. You're holding yourself up. Obviously, the wick right there. So hourly. So I mean, you're in a great position. I can't call this anything other than a range. And because the strength of 64, I would be looking very much to the upside upon that move. But it is now your job to play, or rather map out Nike's journey within these two areas. Empty space is filled up, not up, or down, but not up. You got a nice little build here. So yeah, nice 3 taps right here as well. So as long as you hold 63, you're still looking pretty good. You could pull one of those numbers. But what time would need time in your opinion? You like Ross down? That's tough, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a little wild on the speculative side. Because you are technically, this is the first candle in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, right? I think the question is, have you recovered enough? I mean, you have. You got the floor. So, now what is difficult, there it is spotting this. I'd need to see this lost, man. Which time frame? So I think even from a channel perspective, right? I think there's something at play here as well. So I mean, you got to have big ones, brass ones, to be shorting this. Just I guess you'd be shorting it off of this wick. That's literally the only thing that I see. All right. It is 3:48. Got some errands to run here shortly, so yeah. What is default? AI. What? Shorting floor. Oh, sorry, Jose. I didn't see that. So, dude, look, this is actually a fucking great example, right? You have a floor. If you want to short something on like Rost, you need to be here or in here. Like you need to find something on a lower time frame, deeper inside of that range. Because if you short this on the floor, man, I mean, even here, look at that. Oh, I want to go short on Ross. It's big red, man, and maybe the channel supported that empty space as well. But I'm shorting is, man, it's a different ball game. It's almost like if you wanted to buy floors when something's going up, right? Because you want to be with buyers. It's like almost if buyers have the floor, then why it's going to be tough to short that, right? It's going to be tough. You're going to see pulls up, pulls down. That's even like lower time frame trading when we trade like the QQQ, IWM, and stuff like that. When we see those 3 rejections off the top or a big wick up, and then all of a sudden it gets pulled down, like okay, I'll get in right there. But yeah, it gets sketchy. Yeah, actually, take a look at how it's moving right here. Celsius is falling fast. To a degree, yes. We do want. Yeah. Yeah, you do. And where is it bouncing? Look at that. Watch. It's almost like it's magic, but it's not. Yes, that is what you want. Look at that shit, man. I very seldomly, but especially if I think about it real hard, I can remember how it felt to watch red candles while you were holding a green position. And if you're somebody who feels that way and you're like, definitely zoom out and be on a higher time frame. But once you start seeing these red candles as good things or help, right, putting you in a position for a better run, you're thinking about them counterintuitively, man, it changes the game. You put yourself above, the average bear. Did you short this already, or just curious? I don't know what I said, but it's moving, dude. Faster it rips, That's good. If you want to hedge 47.7 to 12, but honestly, a little gap down with Celsius. If you got a good expiration, you should be fine. And that right there, man, next week is going to be wild. Look at this shit. Oh, gross. But the key is still red. See, last time I saw candles like this, we dumped. And we like gapped down and dumped. Look at all of that, man. Hold on a second. Let me see something. That's what I thought. So you can see it right here. Right? Little bounce, little retest, little tap tap. I think if we do go up, it's like that. But if we do go down, oh fuck. Because you do have a sneaky lower low right there. Hold on a second. No fucking way. No way, y'all. That's real. That's 100% real. Like just the trend line is 100% legit. Give me a second. Might be getting ahead of myself, but that's why I think why this level is so important. But man, you sure are not responding to it in the way that you should. You know, with that empty space right there, I think it'd be way cooler if we did actually bounce, pop up, hit that, and then give us a way easier signal just by falling back down. Ugh. I mean, but look at this from basically, I mean, if you think about like the market in general, from September all the way till today, we have stayed basically from 580 doing nothing, which just means that we're making that. That weekly candle's definitely not looking healthy. I just know deep down that this is gonna wick up, and that might be where we go short. There's a sneaky little gap down there.
You don't find this similar to like around this time last year's price action where it was like we were in the same sort of range, like right around January?
I
Yeah.
see this same thing. I seen this in like August, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing every single week. You get to a high, you box it out, and you fall. And I'm looking at it the same way right now. I mean, look at this. Box it up, 3 off the top and down.
It reminds me of when you had the 580s for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, fuck it. Look at that. You leave empty space behind. You just refuse that 377. It's got me thinking, man. I'm telling you what, I'm looking at 5. So I get a good expiration. I can hedge myself up, day trade it on Monday through that empty space above. If it triggers or gaps up, and then average down. That would be going into February. These are expensive. I want to do, which is fine because if I'm speculating, I can just replace the amount of contracts with premium. So, again, what I'm doing right now is not pure. So 375 is the only one that makes sense. Especially with tech being so weak, and every time we go up, it does not respond in a healthy manner. I'll speculate on it and I'm call it a hedge for now for some of my long equity, which I haven't done recently. But man, that's too much to ignore. I'm
That's what I did. I took but I don't know. Might have not have given enough time, but I got January 16th, and it's a small position, but I got 585 puts
yeah, that's the bell right
for
there,
that
guys.
time frame. I'm down about 20% right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just got some, but I took what I'm aiming for. I figured, again, with the amount of time that I have, I'll take profit and trim a lot around the 580s. But yeah, I'm not in the market not to take fucking risk, and I can afford to do it. So I, put fucking a couple grand on a. And again, I'm looking back, and this is what I'm talking about, right? Like this is actually a perfect example of what I'm talking about, and this is where we might be at today. We're building, right? 3 off the top. 1, 2, 3. There's empty space up in here. It fills up the empty space. It pops up into a new high, right? And then dumps. Now, that doesn't happen the same way every time. This is how it happened last time. You have kind of a similar scenario here where you box it out, leg down, retest, and then all that empty space gets filled up. Box right here, right? Same thing. Can't get above that high, multiple rejections, and we dump hard. Box right there, but you build. You're sitting right up there at the highs, and that's sitting going into all-time highs. But that's obviously box right there, pull back, box right there, 3 off the top, pull down. Here you're building higher highs, 1, 2, 3, but you don't lose anything, and so you rip and you fill up your empty space directly. But I actually remember trading that. This is more what I'm focused on is shit like that. It's like, okay, yeah, yo, tell me that doesn't almost look damn near identical. So maybe I'm placing this a little bit early, but I'll place it nonetheless, especially if we pull a number where we go up above that resistance that we have now on the Qs, right? God, this is an inflated fucking piece of crap. Especially if, we were to, and again, this is looking at the hourly and saying, well, there could be a green candle here, a pop, right? But if you go sideways, fuck, damn, what am I drawing? If you go sideways, right, up in here and like just fail, that's where expiration, but I'm looking for a rinse repeat for sure. Again, we've seen what have we seen? I think this is top notch, if I'm being honest with you, because just looking at the market in general, right? You look at SPY. Okay, SPY went up 4 times, new high. It hasn't lost. In fact, I just talked about this today. Like that wick literally is the same floor that's held us up forever. So we have a long ways to go to get down, but. And I'd say maybe SPY gets a little sideways action in there, but it did go up into new highs. It did reach up and touch something and fail to hold it. IWM same way, right? Multiple times actually. It's broken back over or attempted. And how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 5 losing it after reclaiming it. So even if we do get a move up like I'm, talking about, it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about because Qs has the weakness. Hello? Peyton just came here to distract me. I'm giving these people top this could be a moment in history, Peyton, where I see the 2026 market crash in advance. I was having a Jimmy Neutron moment, except Jimmy Neutron's on DMT. Gonna do what? You washing them? Okay. You can pat them dry too. Okay, if you want
Women
to
are
pull this,
beautiful, but they don't understand, Potter.
they, they don't understand market crashes. Better be careful. There's some ladies in here who will market crash you, dude.
I was
I
just
hear
gonna
that.
say half the girls in here are out trading me.
Dude, yeah, I
I
was gonna
hear
say,
that.
yeah, actually the success rate with women, man, compared to men, makes me feel, I'm like, damn, I can't let anybody, I can't, a woman, like if Peyton takes over the Discord, bro, she gets good at trading, it's over for me.
Yeah, dude, you're out of a job.
You don't need me anymore.
You're gonna have to get into your feminine side.
So, yeah, sometimes I
Learn how to
give
cook or
ladies
something.
bad signals. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I don't do that. I love you, babe. Bye. Okay, yeah, pull the steaks out, and if you're feeling really froggy, sprinkle some sea salt on the top of it and the bottom of it, and let it
We
sit.
all love you, Peyton, because you make Potter a better man.
Yeah, she does.
She didn't hear that, did she?
No,
Very good.
very good, very good. Didn't A Lab? Sorry, no, I got time, man. Oh, what the fuck is that, bro? Interesting. That's a goofy little setup, ain't it? I mean, you definitely have that. Wait, did I just look at A Lab
Yeah, you looked at this morning.
this morning? Ah, okay. And so today you got that candle close outside, or okay. So you what? Oh, and yeah, okay. It's all coming back to me. The wick. So the only thing that's next, and this is what I would expect next week, is what the fuck? A cat just launched itself on my screen window. 193.42. That would be the first target overhead. But I mean, look, how many times, how many weeks? This is where your brain, if you give yourself a pros and cons, because it's like if your brain tells you, look at 1, 2. I mean, let's just say since the beginning of December till now, the multitude of rejections. There's the first candle close outside of it. So just mind your stop loss. Know what you cannot lose. Ooh, beautiful rule. Yeah. So you absolutely right could probably go down here and even look at the oof, this is magic right here. Check this out. This is how you make a see. This is how I make myself sick. Look at this. Box, right? So naturally, and look at where you just bounce here at the end of the day. If you break down below 198, I don't really think that saves you. And it would be down here. Now at that point, this could line you up, and I'll leave this drawing here and see if we come back and see it's real. That's where you could pull one of these numbers and maybe keep it moving. You do have that gap down there. So this floor, what you built and took off of, that's where you get down. Did I keep my Netflix? My Netflix what? Longs? Definitely not, brother. I think it was last week. I said I was done with Nike or with Netflix. Well, damn it, David. That's so funny. I did. Yeah. I did have position on Netflix.
So QVTS got into some open space today.
The hell? There we go. Here. 29.47 seems like the most viable. Yeah, and you got a nice little $29 target right there to kind of put the icing on the cake there. You know what? Do not let me forget about Netflix. You know what? I'm a little sad that I actually didn't try to maybe grab. Well, let's see. You know what? No, I'm not. Shut your freaking mouth, my boy. Oh yeah. So now I don't even need to worry about what's, I could look for a bounce. I don't really see anything over here. But watch this. Bam. So that's step one. Now the way we're falling, I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled on it. And here's what I'll do. I'll go to the 15-minute. I'll set an alert right there. Not before, not a little bit in, right? So that way before the break happens, I at least have a little signal. Nice little box right there. Cool. Dude, this is a whippy nightmare. I would say with that 24-hour candle, definitely looks a lot better. I think if you go look over to your left, right, it's that basically this 80, it's 80, 86.71. Let me go look for a 2-hour here. Okay, now it makes sense. So this old box, its cost basis was that high, right? So 84.82, step one, step three, or step two, excuse me, would be over 87.15. And then, yeah, I do think that it is in the cards for sure. At that point, then 2-hour box here. All right, guys. Happy New Year. I'm gonna post this on YouTube, and just as a closing statement, this last week you can go watch the YouTube channels. I'm gonna have Alex and Ivy chopping those up to pieces come next week. It's pretty cool, right? If you chose not to trade the ETFs this week because you're not a day trader, and yes, there has been some wide fluctuations in price inside of the tiny range, but it still has been a little bit more difficult to trade, right? Not more than like something in here, because this is given a little bit more empty space on a lower time frame. But for those of you guys who are swingers exclusively financially, we got the 4 runs up, and then we got the 4 or 5 candles kind of choppy down. So let's look at next week, right? We're going with the flow. If we go start into a build, since we're between that trigger down and trigger up, right? We can let that work and kind of sit on the sidelines with it and look elsewhere at other ETFs. But follow that, right? When we see contraction, it typically has a pattern. We can go look back at that stock or at that ETF, and we can see this. This is not my opinion. This is just me counting, and doing it, again and again and again, and seeing the same results. So until we lose something, until we gain something on SPY, on the Qs, right? And the Qs have got a little bit more of a base case on that one. And on IWM. And I would actually say, yeah, you just got that 1, 2, 3, 4 down. We got 1 candle up. So even climbing back up, I would say in these pockets, if you did swing it, right, it'll be likely one of those things where you hit a small lower time frame floor, chop a little bit, build, and then continue the upside. But that being said, just pick our trades going into this new year extremely selectively. 24-hour setups, I'm talking to especially you new folks. 24-hour setups, clear empty space, focusing on the end of the day, candles close, and focusing on whether or not that stock has already gone on a run. If it has, it's probably best to take a step back and wait. I just think that this specific, I got that question last week. What do I think everybody trader, or what do most traders fuck up? And that's, my number one thing is, especially people who are new and they don't have the experience, they end up over trading, not knowing that they just saw 4 days of rippage and now they decided to join and they're getting chopped to death. All right. I will see you guys on Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Let's see how next week goes. It's well, fuck that. We're gonna have a great week. All right. Peace.